Are you setting weight loss goals for the new year? If you've ever compared yourself to someone on social media, done endless amounts of cardio, or jumped on every fasting or celebrity diet, this video is for you. I'm breaking down the biggest mistakes you need to avoid when chasing your goals and what to do instead to actually see the results you want and feel your best in 2025. Stick with me until the end because these tips could change the way you approach your health and fitness journey for good. The first thing you need to avoid when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 is comparing yourself to others, especially people you see on social media. One of the things that people fail to realize is that genetics plays a huge part in how we lose weight and how we gain weight. It's okay to have someone that you look up to who has your ideal body, but if you do not have the same genetic makeup as that person, your body is never going to look like exactly how theirs does. What I want you to do instead of comparing yourself to others is focus on how you want to feel and how you want to look when you get to your goal weight. Focus on what your successes and your challenges were in 2024. Reflect on those things. Think about the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of 2024 and where you ended up as far as your weight and your health is concerned. And celebrate those wins, even if it was like you lost 2 or 3 pounds, you kept it off, or you lost 10 pounds, but you only gained 4 back, whatever it is, whatever those small wins are, look at your successes and celebrate them, and then set realistic goals based on that for 2025. Don't focus so much on the number on the scale that you want to be. If you focus on that, you can drive yourself crazy. So what I would suggest is if you are going to look at the scale, only weigh yourself once a week. But focus more on how you want to look and how you want to feel. And then also, before setting that realistic goal, think about what it is that you want when you get to your ideal weight. What are you doing it for? What are you losing this weight for? Is it because you want to look good for a particular event? If you really are doing it for health reasons, or are you doing it because other people have done it and you want to look like someone? I mean, if you're really being honest with yourself and you really think about more about how you want to feel and how you want to look, then you won't focus so much on the number on the scale. So think about that. Think about how you want to look, how you want to feel, and what you're really doing this for. Why are you losing the weight? I'm sure you've heard this in other areas of your life. What is your why, your big why? If it's, like I said, if it's just for an event or for some specific thing that you want to lose it for, and you're trying to reach a goal for that event or whatever, that's not big enough for you to keep it off. But if you are really, really doing it for your health, and your why maybe has to do with not continuing a family disease that happened, or continuing bad traditions or poor eating habits. If you really think about if your why is big enough, if it's really big enough, you'll reach the goal, but then you'll stay consistent enough to do what it takes to reach that goal. And that's the most important thing. If your why is big enough, if it's strong enough, and you feel it in your soul, you'll stick to it because that why is bigger than the number you may see on the scale. Now, when you're setting those realistic goals, think ahead of time what possible challenges you may face. What are some roadblocks that may get in the way? You could think about things that got in your way in 2024 and just think forward to 2025. What are some things that you know may possibly get in your way, some roadblocks or some challenges. And the reason why you want to think about that ahead of time is so that you could be prepared when it happens. I know you've heard the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So yes, it helps to think about some challenges that you know may get in your way, so you know exactly how to face them and how to overcome them when you are faced with those challenges. The second thing that you want to avoid is doing excessive amounts of cardio. Yes, cardio is good for you. It's good for your heart. That's what cardio is about. It's cardiovascular health. If you are over 40 years old, what you want to do instead is focus on strength training. The more lean muscle that you have on your body, the more fat you'll burn. So you want to work smarter and not harder. So if you focus on strength training, you'll actually burn more fat, because when you finish strength training, that lean muscle that you have on your body will actually continue to burn fat. On the other hand, if you do excessive amounts of cardio, when you stop doing that cardio, then the fat process or the fat burning process ends. The third mistake that you want to avoid when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 is fasting solely for the purpose of losing weight. Now, I know a lot of people that do the Daniel fast with their church at the beginning of the year. I have a client that did that and does that every year. But when people tell me that they are fasting for spiritual reasons, I don't touch that. That's between them and God and their God, okay? That is one of the questions that I ask clients before I start working with them, if they fast or do diets on a regular basis or cleanses even. If you are doing that for the sole purpose of losing weight, you can do more harm than good. So there are doctors, even here on social media, that will tell you the benefits of fasting and doing cleanses. You could look them up, get that information. But if you are doing a fast or a cleanse for the sole purpose of losing weight, you can do more harm than good if you are not doing it correctly. So if you want to just kind of start with a clean slate, if you will, to start your weight loss process, do it the right way. Look up the information, educate yourself on the best way to do it so that you don't ruin your metabolism in the process of doing it. So you could also just start where you are and start a new way of eating and exercising and things of that nature. But you don't want to do a fast or a cleanse for the sole purpose of weight loss, especially if you're doing it for days at a time. I know a client in particular where she would do this cleanse and she would be on it for more than 10 days, where the master cleanse. And for her, it was just to jumpstart, okay, I've been off my eating plan and all of that, and I just need to do this cleanse really quickly to kind of get back. That's fine, but I wouldn't suggest you do that. Go ahead and just write out a plan, be realistic about the goals that you want to set for yourself, and start today. You don't have to wait until Monday or, it is the beginning of the year. So just start any day. You could start and make a change and start to develop a new habit any day of the week. Just start today, but don't avoid that. Don't do fasting or cleansing for the sole purpose of losing weight in a way that can be detrimental to your health. The fourth mistake that you want to avoid when creating your weight loss plan for 2025 is doing exercises, routines that you don't enjoy or that are not good for your fitness level. So you really want to assess where you are physically and fitness-wise. So don't just do a plan or an exercise program that you see someone else doing and it might be out of your level of fitness. Don't do that. People ask me all the time, two things. What's the best time to work out and what's the best workouts to do? One, the best time to work out is the time that you are going to be consistent. Choose a time. It doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, evening, whichever day or whichever part of the day that you are going to be consistent is the best time for you. And then the exercises, if you are over 40, you need to incorporate strength training into your exercise regimen. But don't do exercises that you don't enjoy. Not saying that you don't like strength training right now, so you shouldn't do it. No. Find a strength training regimen and program that you enjoy so that you can stick to it. But don't do things just because you see other people doing them that's beyond your fitness level, or things that you are not going to enjoy that you will be consistent with. If you want to stay healthy and really defy age, so to speak, you have to incorporate strength training into your exercise regimen. As women, after the age of 30, we start rapidly losing muscle. And so when you do strength training, you really are defying aging. So the more lean muscle that you put on, the better your mobility, the healthier you are. I'm sure you've all heard of people, older people in particular, that have fallen and broken a hip. And I know for myself, I used to wonder, like, okay, they broke a hip. Why? How did they die? But when you don't have lean muscle and you do break a bone or something, then you are more prone to pass away or have a longer recovery, because your muscles is what moves your bones. And so if you have no muscle or very weak muscles, usually infections and different things of that nature set in when you don't have that lean muscle, when you do fall, and then your recovery time is much longer. You get other kinds of illnesses or diseases as a result of that. So that's why older people, when they fall, if they haven't been strength training or don't have a lot of lean muscle on them, they do a lot of times pass away from those types of injuries. Don't avoid strength training. The fifth mistake that you want to avoid is what we call in rowing, fly and die. We talk about getting on the rowing machine and just starting off really hard and fast. Like if you're doing a 2K test and then it's like, oh my goodness, halfway through, you're like dying and then you feel like you can't finish that particular exercise. Well, you don't want to do that when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 either, flying and dying. If you only worked out once a week in 2024, do not set a goal for yourself to go to the gym 5 days a week. Gradually progress into doing more days. So if you did once a week consistently in 2024, maybe do 2 or 3 days consistently in 2025. You don't want to just go in there and say, okay, I'm going to work out 5, 6, 7 days a week, because that's why the gym is so packed in January and the beginning of February. And by the end of February, the beginning of March, it's a ghost town, because a lot of people set unrealistic goals. They go in there, they think they're going to do it every day. Okay, this is the year, every year. I mean, the fitness industry understands this. You probably understand it if you've been around long enough to know yourself and see other people in the gym, where it's like, okay, the people that have been consistent all year, like, okay, they dread January because they know all of these people that have set weight loss goals for New Year's resolutions is going to be in the gym. So don't be one of those people. Be realistic about what you can do, even if it's just walking for now. If you weren't doing anything in 2024, at least go outside and walk, or get on the treadmill and walk. Or, like I said in my other video, learn to row, because I'm sure that machine in the gym is going to be empty. So yes, do not fly and die. Set realistic goals of how many times a week you will be able to work out. The sixth thing that you want to avoid when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 is not scheduling yourself a rest day. Now, I just talked about not going to the gym, trying to unrealistically go to the gym every day of the week, but not scheduling a rest day. So even if you don't go to the gym, if you do active stretching at home or whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you are resting and recovering. You want rest and recovery is just as important as working out itself. So schedule time to rest, recover, take care of yourself, self-care, meditation, relaxation, all of that. Also, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Your body restores itself, the cells replenish themselves when you are sleeping. So sleep is just as important as working out, resting, and recovering. Make sure you are getting enough sleep. And last but not least, the seventh thing that you want to avoid when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 is not starving yourself. I talked about fasting and cleansing earlier, but starving yourself, you want to avoid that. You want to eat the things that you love, but in moderation. That's the problem with a lot of diets and exercise weight loss plans, is that people starve themselves. They're not eating enough. So you want to make sure that you are eating enough to be able to sustain the workouts that you are doing. And then I'm going to add on to that. And this is not something to avoid, but this is something to think about and add to. And that is having an accountability partner. Now, whether you're working with a professional coach like myself, or if it's just a friend and you're telling them what your goals are and your plans for the new year, have someone that you can be accountable to, and don't try to do it on your own. The best weight loss programs are done when people are in community. And that's pretty much with anything. That's why Weight Watchers is so successful, because people are in community. So if you do want a community and you do want a professional coach to work with, you can always contact me. You could click the links below in the show notes and get that information. But even if you're not working with a professional, make sure that you have someone that you are holding you accountable. Well, I certainly hope that those 7 mistakes to avoid when setting your weight loss goals for 2025 were helpful for you. Please continue to watch my videos. Thank you if you are new to this channel or just running across my channel. It's a small channel. I'm growing it, but I am really here for you. I want to help more Black women and girls live healthy lives through fitness, nutrition, as well as incorporating rowing into their exercise regimen. So thank you once again for watching my video. Until next time, this is Coach Flo signing off. Be healthy, be fit, be well. Peace.